morning and welcome to Investigator News, and I'm your host, Ellie. And wow, what a morning we had. Uh, Good morning, Miss Karen. You missed the cursing birds this morning. Not my birds. If my birds curse, I'm gonna laugh till I cry. I can't even get them to say hello. They just want to squawk. But you have to go back and watch it for those that missed the morning weather. And there was a 7.2 earthquake in Peru this morning. So, um, and I'll get you guys squared away today. Me and YouTube's going back and forth with messages. So I think we got it figured out. So, um, with that, oh boy, the mother of the shooter has come forward. And she says that he was not a violent person. The mother, um, they call her the mother of the despicable. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, every mom loves her son, and she said her son was a loner who kept to himself, didn't have very many friends, but claimed he he was not a violent person. She also denied that she had a toxic relationship with him. Now, as far as the grandmother, they say she's in moving to stable condition. So, my son wasn't a violent person. I'm surprised by what he did. I pray for those families. I'm praying for all the innocent children. Yes, I am. Um, and the children, had no part in this. She said she had a very good relationship with her son and last saw him on Monday. Her accounts are in stark contrast to the Post. Well, we know how the Post is. And they reported Wednesday that the claim that um, Ray's did indeed use drugs and that her son, the shooter, showed plenty of signs of troubling behavior. Um, so, I don't think we'll ever know since he was killed. Um, and she might go and hit the TV circuit and the news circuit, but I don't know. I don't. We all love our sons, and we don't want to think they're bad. We don't want to think our kids get into no good, but they do. And so, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I haven't had enough on this to say whether she's a good mom, bad mom, he's a good kid, or I think we'll find out in the next few days, though. You guys sick of hearing about it? Uh, oh man, all last night, this morning, all the news media, it's like, man, let's get over this. Quit like grounding the dirt into the rug. Um, I know we'll never forget what happened. But you know what we shouldn't forget is that the Democrats not only did they wanted to remove cops from the schools, now they're talking about it again. Why? Why why put our kids in danger? They're all boo-hooing about this and then they want to remove resource officers. No, it should be we are going to load every single school in this nation down with police officers for next year. For next year. Let's not start talking about cutting them. Um, that is just so sad. Very, very sad. Um, Now, if you guys remember um, the three Americans who mysteriously died in the rooms in the Bahamas, you guys remember that? There was three of them. They were found dead in the villas at the Sandals Emerald Bay. Um, Autopsy toxicology reports have been completed, and the medical examiner ruled all three died of carbon monoxide poisoning. Uh, be very careful with that. I stayed in a hotel one time that it just got so stuffy in the room, but it wasn't hot. It just got like I couldn't breathe. And I got real sleepy. I was coughing, my throat was dry, and I opened up the door for a while and didn't hardly even use the heater. You just got to watch out, especially some of these. This was a new hotel, though, beautiful. And look at what happened. So be very careful when you're staying someplace that have got one of them little heaters in the room, and you can't trust them. Be on, um, be alert, be alert. And if you start getting real sleepy and groggy, and um, open the door up for a while. So yeah, Karen says she's not listening to all them reports either. But I do have something a long list today to read you, because it irks me. It just really, and I don't want to get back on the whole school thing again, the school shootings. But I got a list that will surprise you guys. Um, so anyway, I'm gonna move on. I have a lot of news today. Um, um, while we're all looking at Ukraine and Iran and Beijing and Taiwan, now we have Somalia going on. The thing with Somalia, folks, now get this. We had went in, you guys remember Black Hawk Down? And then we pulled everybody out of there. And for some reason, Trump got talked into putting some troops back there. But then he said it was too expensive and he pulled them out. A lot of people got angry for him for this. And I think it wasn't people got angry. I think the Democrats got angry that now Biden has put them back in. And is there going to be enough? This is a vicious country. And I really don't think we need to be back over there. This is a country that has been in war for 40 years. I mean, why are we picking old wounds of war? We did it. We're doing it with Ukraine. It's been at war since 2008. We had that long ongoing war in Afghanistan. And now we're going to go to Somalia that's been at war for 40 years. Why? It's just starting more and more to seem like they just want to be at war. Well, uh, I just shake my head because you know what they're going to do? They're going to print more money and they're going to put it on us taxpayers to pay for it. And it's like they're like on a horrible spending spree because it's horrible because why are they investing in more? And, this is very sad that we see this. And so, uh, now, they do all of that and they go all the way around Israel. Now, why aren't we over there helping Israel? Now, Israel does need us. They do need us to jump in and put up a fight, just like we have done for everyone else, where we're really wasting good defense money. So Israel, they go about their own thing. They protect themselves. They got the iron domes. I know all that. But, they are going through a lot, stabbings and car rammings, axe attacks. The axe. You remember I said if they can't get a gun, they'll get an axe, yeah, or a machete. Shootings have become really common. And even during their Independence Day celebrations 2 weeks ago, 16 children went fatherless in one day due to a terror bloodbath that was happening. So Israel is having a lot of problems. Now, this is stuff that Israel can take care of. But as far as Iran goes, don't sign agreements with Iran, Biden. This is what really gets me because he wants to keep them around, and I don't know why. I don't understand Joe Biden whatsoever of what he's doing. It's like he has his administrators throw ideas into a hat. He draws it out. Says, "Yeah, this is good. We'll just go over there and we'll start a war in Somalia, or other places." It's really getting it's chaos, um, chaotic chaos. Um, um, it just makes us not really believe in our government. How can we support a government that doesn't show stability? And that's what I'm seeing. And I think this is kind of what Israel has been saying to us too, because that they could just jump in and keep Iran at bay. They don't want to go to war with Iran. Iran wants to go to war with Israel. And with the changeover, it's really sad. The other changeover that's happening is in Australia, and they're welcoming China with open arms, and this really worries me because they were talking about taking Australia out. Well, now they're shaking hands, and the CCP in Beijing wants to go through, and they have 10 islands in mind that they want to take over, and Australia was one of them. I mean, it's part of Indo-Pacific, but they called it islands that they wanted. So I guess they think Australia is an island, not a country. But these are all countries. So, um, wow, Karen. Karen, you're going to have to go watch them cursing. Or you're going to have to go, not watch them, but you're going to have to go see that from earlier today. I had Mary just cracking up over it. She goes, "Is this a joke?" I said, "No, it's real. There's cursing. Uh, I think they're Amazon birds, parrots, Amazon parrots." So, um, World War III. Boy, William, I wish this would have came out um, last night with us. This would have been a really serious story. The stage being set for the U.S. to go to war with China, Russia. Well, they say that China is now said they're ready. Um, and Joe Biden has been a hothead throughout his career in politics, and now he's in a state of mental decline, is what they're saying, and they have basically said he's surrounded by the worst foreign policy team ever in U.S. history. And what's really being said is they said his um, team that move around him are like teenagers, and that was said the other day. So now um, China's ready. Are they going to? Is it going to be back and forth like we did with Ukraine? Nothing's being said on this, and you don't want to get in too quickly. And what's coming out of the White House, from what this report says from China, is U.S. don't want to fight two countries at once because of their ships and their navy would be weakened if they did that. And so they said they're set, and as long as Biden seems dazed and confused, as some sort of mental fog, or is he? They said is something medically wrong with him, that they can just watch, and they can be able to go in, hit Taiwan, and that Biden wouldn't even know it. And we would. I mean, so I think this was just a stab. Words coming from Xi Jinping just make a stab at Biden over his mental condition, and which isn't real good. Are we going to war without Congress approval again? Yeah, they will. They will. I think Biden. I think Biden forgets to get a hold of them. Maybe Jinping's right. He's in a mental fog, and he just forgets uh, that he was in Senate for all that time, and that you got to go and you have to ask for the funding first. Or have they already done it behind our backs? So yeah. So World War III, it's set. It's ready to go, and so we're just waiting now. Um, and I think with the words that Biden has been saying to Jinping, um, I don't think it's in public. I think it's privately. I think he's got Jinping a little hot under the collar. This article, it's one slam after another against Joe Biden and his staff, or the people that surround him. Um, to call them teeny boppers and they act childish, and asked uh, that the administration seems immature. Um, so, how can what Jinping get away with that, Karen? Um, I think it's fighting words. I'm gonna call you names, you can call me names, and we'll just go in a circle with our fists up for a while, and then we'll have at it. So, all right. Um, but yeah, so they are ready, and let's see if there's anything else. And China basically said once they invade, the U.S. and China will immediately be in a state of war. Um, what I think it is that he is taking is into backing Taiwan. So this is, we're now things are heated up, and so now we're just going to have to wait and watch and see what happens. But this is scary because this could be World War III. As we see it, we're in World War III basically with Ukraine, and so now we're looking at possible World War III, definitely with China. I mean, so all right, I'm gonna move on along. I want to get. Uh, The key senators asked the DOJ to probe misleading foreign agent report filed by Hunter Biden's team. Um, so the two senators who led the probe into Hunter Biden's overseas business are asking the State Department to reveal incomplete and misleading foreign lobbying report filed by the Democrat lobbying firm that helped Biden's son and his business partner. So this is now coming up, and this was turned over by Grassley and Johnson. That almost sounds like Johnson. It sounds like the baby powder, huh? Grassley and Johnson. They wrote the Attorney General Garland on Tuesday that recently filed foreign agents lobbying report filed by Blue Star Strategies include inaccurate information and failed to disclose several meetings that its lawyers had with the U.S. government while representing Ukraine-based gas firm Burisma Holdings and its founder, Mykola Zokovsky. So the letter cites evidence first reported by Just the News, and last week showing Blue Star met um, more with U.S. officials than named in the May 12 report. Remember, I was telling you that they had all them Democrats over there. And there's even pictures of it. So the report blatantly disclosed that the firm engaged in foreign lobbying in 2015-16 on behalf of the Ukrainian company and its founder, whom the U.S. government believed engaged in corruption. Hunter Biden served on the board of Burisma Holdings from 2014 to 2020. See, he was there for the whole war that started. Remember, I said it started in 2008. It heated up in 2013, and then it was shortly after that Hunter Biden was over there, and that's when everything heated up. That's when the Democrats were over there. Roger Stone was there. Um, um, oh my goodness, McCain was there. Grassley was there. Klobuchar, I think that's her name. She was there. A lot of them were. Manafort, that's when he was there and was caught. So there was a lot going on in 2015, right during the middle of a war, for them to be over there and talking Burisma. And there's a lot that happened. Um, And no wonder Putin is so angry. And hello to Edward. Good to see you again, sir. How they're the other day I did a report that they are going to, boy, this is so disheartening though. They're going to maybe increase those veterans and their housing allowance, or their their allowance. Now get this. Now today, Military Times came out and said active duty members are going to get cut, and they said that the people in Germany aren't going to be able to live because of the cost. So they're cutting active duty, and it sounds like they're pulling from one and giving to the other. So that's what is going on with the military. Is they're going to give to the veterans, and they're going to cut the active military, active service. So if you're out there and you're active duty, you might see not so much money for your housing allowances. So, wow. Oh, can they do that? Can they take that away? I thought that it just goes up. I didn't know they could cut it. Um, it's been a long time since I was in the military. No, well, our family was in the military. Cost of living raise, yeah. Well, now they're cutting them to active duty, so that's not even cool. Um, now, oh boy, um, let's see. I got out of sync with my notes. Um, but they're over there in Davos. I mean, I know we did a lot on that yesterday, but you know what? They are just putting us down, the American people. Uh, and they are meeting over there, and they what gets me is they even treat their staff real dirty. They give them, everybody's got these badges they wear over there, and the elites all got these nice pretty ones, and then their staff got these, I guess, really ugly green ones. um, and not only that, but they were all saying that they're going to hurry up and they're going to cut our throats on gas, as they flew around in these private jets to get there. Um, um, I've read into it, and the elitist, um, they are afraid that we are slacking as Americans and not backing up their mission and their mission statements. Um, Even Bill Gates, John Kerry was over there talking the Green New Deal, and Bill Gates was over there, um, basically saying that inflation's going to hurt everyone, and we just need to nut up and deal with it until it gets better. Um, I don't know. I don't think we need to nut up and suffer through this. I think they need to fix things. Our own government. Let's cut out these Davos guys and these elites, these political elites. Not only that, they were even saying Americans act like third graders. And really, maybe because Beijing's calling the Biden administration names. So they basically say that they want this to, um, they want to start implementing things and uh, devices to be the carbon footprint. And they want to be able to see where we go, see where we go to eat, where we shop, everything about us, what we're at home. I'm going to start covering my cameras up. Um, they're forming a lot of treaties with not only the World Health Organization, but they're also doing it with other countries to make everyone equal. So um, they basically they just don't care about us as individuals. um, and they're talking that we can give up our cars. You know, we can give up our cars. We don't have to fly. We can take a train. We can take a bus. We can get on a bicycle. They didn't mention a horse. But you know what? They got all those, and you know they're not going to be giving them up. Um, so, so I kind of laughed it off on a lot of what Kerry and Bill Gates said, and um, even Klaus Schwab. I laughed at him. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You want to listen to us. You want to follow us. You want to tell us what bank we can use. You're going to cut our electric. You're going to make us get rid of our cars. Uh, I just, he's not going to be very popular by the end of the year. So, okay, so Russia. The Ukraine update. Russia continues to mount offensive on eastern Ukraine, the battle for Donbass region. And they have shelled over 40 towns. Um, Not only that, they have now, um, between the twin cities of Luhansk and Donetsk, they have surrounded it and they said they're going to move in, and it's going to be the heaviest battle yet. Um, they said they did give civilians that were trapped time to escape or leave, and they're going to give another time limit where they can leave. And if they don't, then of course they're going to move in. But they've now encircled basically Donbass and um, gonna it's a very good strategic idea. I mean, you guys ever play Risk when you were younger? And you move your little armies and you always seem to surround it and you fortify, and to me that's kind of what it looks like they're going to do. Now, as far as the Azov steel plant, it's pretty much wreckage. They took it to the ground. They also have thousands of troops pouring in. It looks like that this little bit of time they had where it was all quiet. Now Russia has brought in a lot of forces, and they are. It is said they are encircling the Ukraine forces. Um, let's see. They say that Putin went to the hospital and visited military members and soldiers that were wounded. Um, they they are now going after the Black Sea to be able to bring in not only the ships, but for the ships to go out. They said they have grains that need to go out of the country. And now I don't know how they harvest those, any of that, any of the grains that they have there, but I guess they have. And so now what they're doing is they're trying to get it out. So they're going to the Ukraine military and Navy is moving in. They're going to clear the way so the boats can get out. And then what they're going to do is try to hold it, is what's going on. Now, the Russian missile attacks, though, has basically started destroying their supplies. They said um, they have destroyed a hub of supplies, and that they're letting evacuations happen, but this was over in Donetsk, and they said that there is a large crater on the railway line at this point, so they're not going to be moving anything by train at this point. Um, Not only that, they are um, now using police out of Moscow to help. And not what they're having them help is with the mass graves um, that need to be dug for the Russian army. But they did say that they would help certain Ukrainian cities right next to where the Russian cities are, and they would be willing to help. So it sounds like it's You know, um, William, I don't know. You might want to answer. They're being nice, but they're being destructive at the same time. Now, realize what's going on in these cities is that Ukraine is not firing into Russia. So every city that they hit is part of Ukraine. And they said that it's beginning just to be one big pile of rubble in every single city. There's really not much left. To me, it reminds me of what I see in um, Gaza, or up around Lebanon and the Palestinians, and fighting Hamas and that, where you see just destruction and skeletons of buildings, and that's the way they describe this. And there's not much left for the army to kind of get behind. So what they're doing is they're just shooting back and forth. And they said um, that let's see, Ukraine has gotten quite a few of the cities, and each time they do, they take the Russian flag and put their flag in place. And they said that Ukraine feels very comfortable that the capital in Kyiv, the second largest city, is secure. It's under Ukraine control, and they do not feel like that Putin and his army will be back to fire upon it. Um, and they said um, Zelensky had already warned against Moscow's um, bid to destroy Donbass region. They said that this is something they're really going to fight for. But over in the Donbass region, they have to realize that 3/4 of Donbass is Russians, and Russian people live there. So what they're going, if they even get it, it's going to be questionable of what they're going to do with the residents. They say. Uh, Russian citizens and passports for residents of Ukraine won't be um, they they won't be accepted. If they're in Ukraine and they want to move around and they're Russian, they cannot have Russian passports or IDs like they've had in the past. They now have to switch over to Ukraine. Not only that, Russia was able to take over Kherson and Zaporozhye regions. Um, and let's see. Um, Russia's been able to take back Donetsk and Luhansk regions. And they say Moscow has now issued around 8,000 passports for their people that has had them taken away as they were taken captive by the Ukrainian army or military, and now they're lining them all back up to give them back the passports. So it's almost starting to sound like a passport war over there. Um, so not only that, Russia got the city of Zaporizhia region. They claimed that that President Putin um, has also asked again for him and Zelensky to sit and discuss what is going to happen any further. Uh, they said, according to what I'm getting from Eve, um, is it's just very intense, and they're very. It seems like both sides are very standoffish with all of the media now. Uh, since they've had another one disappear over there, and they don't know where they're at now. The one gentleman that did disappear and they thought was dead, he's back. He finally was given back. I guess they were keeping him as a prisoner of war, and he's now been turned over. So that's at least one reporter or journalist that's on the ground over there that's been given back. All right, let's see. There's still let's see, there's a bombardment that's still going on, and they do, as of today, encircled the city of Severa Donetsk. I hope that's I'm saying this right. They said they have surrounded and moving in around 40 towns over in Donbass. So it sounds like the majority of Donbass is the main battlefield at this point. They've um, Artillery says that 47 civilian sites, including 38 homes, a school, were targeted, and about 12 they have had severely wounded military. Now, when I asked about this to the reporter that I'm getting this info from, um, I said, was the people, are they killing people or are they killing military? And he said, no, it's all military. He says, there's no, in the parts of Donbass that they're fighting and surrounded and shooting with the tanks and the missiles and even mines that are set. That it's all military for what they can see. Everybody's in a military uniform. Uh, Not only that, Russia is using a scorched earth approach, using artillery, air fire. Also, they have had a um, something. It was like a shock wave type. Um, um, William, it's a shock wave type bomb, or it doesn't sound like a missile that they have been using, and they almost knocked out one complete town. Russia did. So basically, the civilians are told if they're going to evacuate, don't come back. That uh, that is a really good idea for both sides. Uh, don't they're saying don't stay, don't hunker down in your homes. It's just best that you get out of the middle of it and seek shelter away from the areas that are being bombed. The bomb shelters. Um, they say there's still room in the basement. There's underground ones as well as those towards the center of the country that has not been had any type of military strikes whatsoever. So um, that's basically the report I got, not only from Eve, um, but the other two that get a hold of me from time to time. Um, I'm just gonna go through. Um, let's see. Here it is. Maybe this is what it is. OTRK Iskander refers to high precision weapons, and they fire in range up to 500 kilometers. It can destroy almost any target. I think that's what they're talking. It's a ballistic cruise missile in its arsenal. Um, so that seems to be what they're using at this point in Donbass. Uh, so wow, huh? Um, well, William, Ed. The thing about it is, yeah, they probably are going to lose their homes, but the thing about it is, do you stay in the middle where uh, they're firing and they're having a major war on your street? And they're blowing up everything that they could possibly hide behind, or you want to go be safe and then come back later and see what's left. And see that they've been through this before in 2015, where um, when they all fled to Crimea, I'm talking Russians, and then when they came back, they were able to move back into their homes. Well, now they're running into the same thing. So I haven't really had Eve talk to very many people, but for a while, these villagers were pulling their guns and they were fighting against the military. to save their homes. At this point, they're asking them not to leave and not be right in the middle of it. So, um, well, now okay, so but you say, but never come back. Okay, now you have to realize this is in Ukraine and Donbass, Mariupol, um, Odessa, not Kiev. Okay, because I don't even know why he even fired upon Kiev. Uh, but some of these that he's already in red, if you look at the map, is those are 90, 80, 70, 80, 90% are Russians that live there. These are their cities, they claim. Well, when they were being mistreated, according to Russia, that's when Russia stepped in and said enough is enough. So what he wants under the Minsk agreement is those few cities or those um, countries or whatever they want to call them. That was part of the Minsk agreement that Russia would get those and they wouldn't bother the rest of Ukraine. But Russia wanted that these were Russians, these were their homes. They should be allowed to keep it and have this be a Russian city. Ukraine does not agree with that. Ukraine wants Ukraine as a whole and does not want these um, cities and these states to go back to Russia. But it was an agreement a long time ago. This has been um, put in writing. They know about it. They're not to join NATO. They're not to bring NATO in. And this is what was the agreement was for. So there's a good possibility that we will see um, Russia just stopping at the line and saying, "Okay, I got these. Go, I won't go after Odessa. I won't go after Kiev or any other of the cities on the west side of Ukraine." So, well, I said never because it might be blown up. Um, I mean, they're devastating. Like I said, the Ukraine is firing in those cities, and so is Russia. And it's just they're taking everything out. It's just rubble, and there's not probably not going to be anything left. So if they're going to move back in, it's going to have to be rebuilt. So Ukraine says never, never, ever. They're not coming back. They're going to go into Russia and they're going to stay there. So Ed, that's pretty much what the situation is over there. And it's the people are the ones suffering. They're losing their houses. Ukraine is losing their people are losing their houses. Everybody, as far as the people go, are just putting up with what's going on with the war and when it's over they just have to pick up the pieces and move along. So whether the Russians end up over in Russia or if they end up with the Minsk agreement still in place and they get their homes back. So it's war isn't fair. um, it's it's not fair and it's not good, and they will destroy everything that's in the path of whether it's a tank or uh, wherever they're hiding behind or in or around is, it's like over in Palestinian where they move the launchers up and they put it in residential areas because this is what they're fighting for. And they shoot it and the other side shoots right back at where those missiles come from. And whatever's in the way gets blown up, whether it's housing, whether it's a hospital, a school, or that's why they want them to get out. So, um, all right. So anyway, we're gonna move along. Um, all right. Let's see. Did you guys see Beto O'Rourke disrupted Abbott's press conference? Um, the town, the people, the families are very upset and told Beto O'Rourke that he basically, well, they said some curse words about him, but I won't repeat them. Uh, that basically what he did was wrong and very cruel to the families because uh, Governor Abbott was just going to give a report what was going on, and he got up there and made a fool of himself. So, uh, now you guys heard about the Bush assassination plot. Now it's been in the news for a few days. What we don't know, or what is coming out today, is they are starting to find ISIS, just about little clusters every day. Like not just one coming over. They're now starting to find three, four of them, 10 of them. Out of like 100 that crossed over, there was like eight of them, and another group of 25, they found four or five of them. And so now they're starting to slow down the intakes on the borders. And I think this is where, I showed you guys that picture of those guys in the fatigues. I think when this happened, I think they're starting to realize if they can't get in going through the processing center, that this is what they're doing. And they're using another route and just walking over the border. And, these are high level ISIS members. And not only that, guess that they found one smuggling guns, a group of them in Brooklyn yesterday. They found three they have now convicted of not only recruiting gang members, but also distributing guns. So we now, I kept telling everybody they're here, and they are. They're working with gang members in some of these major cities. Um, to me, this is scary. Um, and so if you're kind of back at the school shooting, Chuck Schumer says no gun control vote at any time soon. Um, he says Americans can cast their vote in November. We'll see what happens, and then if things get worse and the new school season starts and it starts up again, um, then they're going to go ahead and push it to the floor for a vote. Um, um, the schools, this is, I can't believe they do this. If the the feds, they want to put out a bill and they're going to vote on it, that in order for um, the feds to give the federal money for free and reduced lunches K through 12, they must put boys and they have that neutral bathroom, the boy girl bathroom. If they don't have that in their schools, they don't get federal money for their lunches. Uh, really? Oh my goodness. Oh, I could say a lot on that, but I'm not going to. But this is what's going to happen. All that they said, the notice was put out to oh boy, all the schools this week. So now all the schools should know that in order to get the federal money for the lunches, that they're going to have to put in a neutral gender bathroom. So we'll see how this works out. I'm hoping that it's voted down. Now, more than likely it'll pass through Congress, but I just don't see that happening when it gets to the Senate to vote on. Um, Black Lives Matter now. They did a poll, and they on what all Americans, and not don't matter any color. They just did an overall poll with everybody, with Republicans, Independents, and Democrats, what they think of this Black Lives Matter, and more Americans to look at punishing white guilt. Well, it was basically the polls came back about 90% that they don't even they reject this idea that the white isn't really white, that most people in America have more than just uh, American whiteness. I like how this article is. The, and that we have other blood mixed. And so the people basically are saying that they don't go for the white guilt. That Black Lives Matter just basically could even fade away. And that's even African Americans saying this. So, oh boy. An audio of alleged Chinese military meeting with over there in India has been released. I couldn't grab it, and they just said it'd been released. It was first thing early this morning, and that there would be more details. And this, I got this from um, Breitbart. I know got a hold of it later, but it was with WION. They said they found out about it, that somebody leaked it, and they're thinking that China's the one that did it, did the leaking, and it wasn't really India. And so now I guess they're very upset at India for what has been exposed in this meeting. So hopefully I can get back to it and see what was going on over there. Um, Now, Chinese regime conspiracy theory, they say that um, they have proof that the biolabs that's not only in the United States but some in Ukraine have been creating bio insects that actually harm crops. And let's see, I'm going to see if I can pull this up. Um, and they said that Russia has seen some of this going on, and they said what they're going to do is send it with uh, pesticides. Um, Not only, boy, how could they send it with pesticides if they're bugs? I guess they got a way of doing it anyway. And with the fertilizers and the seeds, that they're warning farmers over here. Randy, if you're still in here, listen up to this one. I might even send you the article for it. They're asking for the farmers to keep an eye, and if they see any type of bugs or they said they're you can visually see them. That if they see this in the seeds, to dispose of it, because it could be bugs that are infect the crops, and all it does is they won't grow. It stunts them. So, and they said this is, according to China, uh, these super insects are weaponized by the U.S. military and dispatched to cause deliberate famines in rival countries. Wow. And I'm looking at like little caterpillars and grasshoppers here. So, and this comes from the Global Times, and the insects are turning, uh, are basically this is a big concern and a real danger, they said, using insects as carriers. But why does U.S. build biolabs near other countries like Russia and then try to like open up a Pandora's box of killer farming killing bugs? Um, this is, they say that China caught them, and this is what China's claiming, but we know they don't really tell the truth. It could be China doing it. Um, you please, what do you want sent? Okay, let's see. Um, the farming thing, I could, you know what? I could just post it to you guys right now. You can come back and get it. This is through Breitbart. I'm thinking that's what Linda wants. Linda, is that what you want, or you want something else from me here? I'll give you guys all the stuff. So anyway, but Breitbart did it, but also it's hard for me to just use um, what's going on overseas. So this really came from the article I got came from not only a Chinese publication, but it came from a Russian that I had to transcribe or translate through the translator, just to back it up to see what all of them had said. So Breitbart's got it. China had it in theirs. It was in English. I think Chinese Defense um, site, ChineseDefense.com, something like that. And then Russia out of Moscow. So was that the one you wanted? So, and those of you that just joining, go look at the cursing birds over in the UK. They have birds that are got bad language. I did that for a lightning moment this morning. All right, now what I want to get to next is, now I told you guys about when one of my first school shootings that I knew about was in Olivehurst, California. That was in 1992. And basically, this kid killed 4 people and injured 10. Now get a load of this. Then we go on in 1992. There was one in Amarillo, Texas. 92, the Bronx, New York. Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. Chicago, Illinois. Great Barrington, Massachusetts. These are all shootings. Then we go into 93. Brentwood, New York. Grayson, Kentucky. Los Angeles, California. Acushnet, Massachusetts. Irving, Texas. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. New Orleans, Louisiana. Ogden, Utah. Darren, Illinois. Sheridan, Wyoming. New Britain, Connecticut. This is all for 93. Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. Chelsea, Michigan. Into 94. Columbia, South Carolina. Seattle, Washington. Fort Myers, Florida. Detroit, Michigan. Belmont, California. Spartanburg, South Carolina. Boonesville, Missouri. Birmingham, Alabama. Washington, D.C. Goose Creek, South Carolina. Another one, a second one in Seattle, Washington. Austin, Texas. Let's see, there's at least 20 more I'm looking at for just the year of 94 for school shootings. These are all school shootings. Okay, 95. There, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 for 95. There is 96 was a light year. They only had like 7. Getting into 97, they had another 6. 98, they had 5. 99, they had 5. And then year 2000, they had 10. 2001, you get the picture though? And this is only 2001. Look at how many school shootings they had. What, 50, 60 of them by now? And do you know what they said on every single one of these folks? Oh, we got to do something about this. Yeah, we can't have this. There's got to be something we could step in and do. Now, I went through and there's close to 100, over 100 between when I first started watching. And get this, there's 200 before then, before 92. And the media knows about it. Our government knows about it. And what are they saying? Oh, this is so horrible. This is horrific. We got to do something. We got to change things. What have they done? What have they done to change anything? I forgot North Korea. So, this is very concerning that they have done absolutely nothing all these years. And we're just talking from 1990 till now. They have let school shooting happen and kept it and let it go and let it go and let it go. time after time after time. And then that's not even including mass shootings. And so what good is both parties if they have done absolutely nothing to stop these school shootings? Um, so, now now we have another school shooting. And what did they say? Oh my God, how horrific. We got to do something. We got to change the policies. The same rhetoric. I bet you they got the script from 1992 and they just keep using it over and over again. Um, and there it's in between no people being killed and a whole bunch being injured to uh, 4 or 5 being killed and 30 being injured. These are school shootings. Um, and, this is very disheartening. Uh, it should be for a lot of people in this country that our politicians have done nothing. And how many times have they how long have they been in power for? 1990, yeah. Well, see, this happened in 92 with Oliverhurst, and my son was in school. That's kind of when my first one that I knew of, and it was uh, close to where I lived. And I thought, oh, this is horrible. And then I started seeing them, and I was like, man, this is a lot. And it just kept, there's a whole bunch that happened. There's 10 that happens and one that the media will jump on. Then there's like 4 or 5 and one the media will jump on. And then there is even a spell of like almost 5 or 6 years where there was close to 50, 60 school shootings. And then they did one. And this is something that's been going on for decades, decades. And I blame both sides. I'm not saying it's all the Democrats that done this. The Republicans could have stepped in and done something anytime when they had control of the House. But they haven't done nothing. Or do they not know what to do? It's called load the schools up with officers. You lock them down, like I did for the schools here. You lock it down, and they have to come through one set of doors, and they have to check in, and the doors have to be opened with a buzzer, like with the like the bank ladies do, where they push it to um, uh, when they call for help. And not only that, this is something else I went and I called the school on yesterday. I want buzzers. I want like what they got at the bank, where you can push the buzzer and it notifies the cops something's going on. I think this needs to be in the offices. And I think they need to be locked into the offices, just like they're doing here. I'm not saying that the schools in Conway are the safest, but this is a good way. If there's only one way in and you're locked up, the only ones that are going to be shooting is the office staff. And if by then they pull a gun, they can hit that little buzzer and the cops will be notified. So now um, I'm hoping. So um, anyway, that is it for today. And I hope you guys, I want to thank you for watching, and go on back and take a look at the bird story. That was so lighthearted this morning, uh, and Mary enjoyed it anyway. Uh, you got 5 birds that's a bad influence on the other birds. So, uh, yeah, many blessings for Miss Karen and her upcoming grandbaby. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Um, so it's always scary for a new mom, folks, and especially with baby formula. Karen, get in there and start getting that baby formula now before something happens. I'd be getting a can. If there's one on the shelf, get it. And just find something that's a normal baby formula and go with that. And if you can get her to breast pump and breastfeed, you can freeze breast milk. So just start stocking up. Start stocking up. So anyway, folks, no shows tonight. But if you have not seen mine and William's show last night, go on back and watch it. It was very informative. And I did post. I almost thought Facebook wasn't going to allow me to post that documentary, but it went ahead and did it. And I haven't got hit with anything yet. So, did anybody watch it last night? Um, or today yet? And I want to get some feedback on this. And so tomorrow morning, it's not on the climate change. It's more on the drought that's hit and plagued our country, and what's going on with it. And then tomorrow night, I'll be doing the Hillary corruption. And here in a few weeks, folks, I have it set up with Randy that she's going to come in and help me with the boys on the track. So, anyway, uh, that is it. Please subscribe and hit the like button for sure. And I told everybody if they like that parrot bird story of the cursing birds to hit the like button on over there for it. I'd like to see how many actually really like that story. And also there was a Sharkano story on there this morning too. If you haven't been watching it, I give a little bit of weather with some extras, of things that's going on in our world. So anyway, I want to thank you all very, very much. And we will see you guys tomorrow morning. And God bless. And start watching some of these videos if you've missed any of them. Take care, folks. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.